Hey, what's up guys? It's ElasticSpyder here, and in today's video, we are looking at another community replay. This time, we have DY Mags in his USS Fletcher, the American Tier 9 destroyer. If you would like to send in a replay, send it to BIAworldofwarships at gmail.com. Please include the in-game screenshots, as well as the replay itself, and a short description of what occurred throughout the battle. And if you would like to inform us what Captain Perks as well as modules you are running, that would be very much appreciated. That way I can kind of diagnose and see where you're going wrong or where you're going very, very right. Otherwise, I'll just have to play this guessing game. And sometimes I'll get it right, and sometimes I won't. Although it's kind of fun to guess what ships, what modules, and what Captain Perks everyone is running. With that out of the way, let's get into the gameplay. So DY Mags, he's going into B. Typically on this map, North, you don't want to go into B at the start of the game. It is usually a death trap, but it looks like DY Mags is showing us how to go in if you do happen to spawn on the north side of North. You're going to want to come in at an angle and, of course, attack this right corner here and basically plant yourself right here. I would actually go a little bit closer to the island, and just so if any ship does pop up or torpedoes do happen to come this way, because there are some smart destroyer players, and they will know that this is a prime spot to sit. Being a little bit close to the island helps you to avoid a lot more torpedoes, because that channel to the far left, before DY Mags moved his camera, torpedoes coming in from there could be very, very deadly. Now, at this point, I'm going to try and guess Captain's skills and upgrades. I'll start with upgrades. The first slot doesn't really matter all that much. Probably main armament mod 1. Then I'm going to guess AA range, because 6 kilometer AA range is not the base range of the Fletcher, and it doesn't look like he's got AFT, so I'm going to go with that. Then I saw the torpedo reload was like a minute and 30 seconds, so I suspect torpedo reload. Then again, third one doesn't matter all that much, especially if he doesn't have any special upgrades, because as you should do, at least I think you should, running defensive fire on the Fletcher is the way to go. And then the next slot, probably propulsion. That's what I would run. That is what I run. Steering gears doesn't help you all that much. And then finally concealment. That's an obvious one. Then Captain Perks, we'll see if he's running priority target. I'll probably assume preventative maintenance. Then, obviously, last stand. You gotta run last stand. Then, let's see. Definitely superintendent. We can see that by 4 smoke screens. Some very nice torpedoes going out on the Edinburgh, though. Those are looking actually very, very good, as well as the Montana. Let's see if we can't get a 2-for-1 here. Orleans takes a big hit. Torpedoes are going to miss the Edinburgh, but he is going to get a grand slam of torpedoes onto that Montana, and that is a devastating strike. He does get a detonation, so not a bad start to the game. 5 minutes in, and 90k damage. At this point, I would say, you know, clap my hands. Work's all done. Basically, yeah. Anyways, he was going to land probably, I think, 5 torpedoes there. Considering each torpedo does, I think, around 16,000 damage. Yeah, if he survives, he's going to have maybe 20k health. So, and of course, factoring in the torpedo belt, I'll be surprised if he would be any less than that. Or any more than that. Either way. Then concealment for sure. Let's start gunning down this Shimakaze. This is a good idea. Our Shimakaze needs help, so D-Mags is going to help him out. He's, of course, in a pretty safe position. Shimakaze is charging out, and D-Mags was running away, but now he is actually getting a little bit too broadside for, it looks like that, Atago. But he's turning away now, and this is another good move. Let's see if you can get the Shimakaze. Nope, our Shimakaze will kill him. It's time to smoke up for the first smoke screen of the match, and it's time to start pelting that Zao. Shimakaze is going to go down to the other Shimakaze's torpedoes, and then hopefully we can get some shots out on the Zao. But of course, no one is spotting him. So back to the Captain perks before I forget about them. So we've got either priority target or preventative maintenance, then last stand, superintendent, and a concealment. From this point, since you are running defensive fire, I could definitely see having manual AA on. That would put you up to 14 points, and then if you slap on torpedo expertise, the one that reloads your torpedoes faster, you'd be sitting at 17, and then finally you could either get smoke, which I probably wouldn't recommend, or you can do what I like to run on my Fletcher, which I don't quite have yet, but that is adrenaline rush. So the more damage you take, the faster your armament reloads. That is very good on destroyers, because since you don't have a lot of HP to start with, every little bit counts a lot, and you're not like a battleship or a cruiser that you have to shoot your guns to get damage out, and that means most of the time you have to be spotted. With things like the Fletcher that have very good torpedo range of 10.5 kilometers, you can pretty safely stay out of radar range and still be very, very safe and do a lot of damage to ships that don't pay a lot of attention to you. So yeah, that's what I would guess. Again, there's no carrier, so we can't really tell how quickly planes are going to get shot down. Oh, a surprise torpedo on the Yamato, it looks like. And I can agree with that. Edinburgh with RPF. That is pretty low. That's pretty low. That is very, very low, I must say. That I can't believe that people are actually taking that and running with it as well. That is something I would definitely not recommend. As good as Edinburgh is at somewhat, I guess, destroyer killing, I don't think it's worth the 4 points, especially not on a British cruiser. So, torpedoes are reloaded, so I'm expecting another salvo off on the Edinburgh, and let's see what else we can get as well. At this point, their whole team is going to be moving towards they're in objective Bravo, and it looks like they are also going to be running more towards objective Bravo, because our team is coming from C/D into B. And now that I think about it, I don't actually believe that the Edinburgh was running RPF, because as you can see, D-Mags is still the closest one to the Edinburgh, but he is not getting RPF, or he is not getting the indicator that he is getting RPF'd. Torpedoes are only going to get 1, but that's another 18,000 damage. So that's looking like that's going to be a pretty good kill for his team if he can't manage to get this. If I were him right now, I would actually keep going towards A. I think this is a bit of a mistake on his part, but we'll have to see how it turns out. I would prefer the cap over the points. If you do go to the cap, you can still be somewhat effective because you are sitting on cap, and the enemy does know where you are, whereas this, they don't know where you are currently. But if you go to A, you're stopping their point lead. And when you are sitting at the edge of A, you can actually go straight to the island at E5 and torp all of the ships that are contesting B, and that's perfect. That is the best thing you can do. Is your team is there on B, and you can just sit there and torpedo them to death. Even smoke up. It doesn't look like there's any more radar unless the Edinburgh is running radar, which in that case he is kind of restricting himself a bit, but that doesn't matter because DMAX kills him. So, and let's see, he will get another 2 torpedo hits on the North Carolina as well for, I believe it was 16 and 14,000 damage, something like that. But another nice torpedo salvo. Hitting 2 targets for 1 salvo is always very, very nice. But again, if DMAGs, he might not have gotten those torpedoes there if he went to A, but he would be stopping their points, and his team would have 3 caps as opposed to the enemy's 1. Or even then, the 1 is still getting contested right now. So again, they're not actually getting any points. I do like to see this though. He is smoking up and starting to pelt that North Carolina. Manages to get high caliber in the process, and he's trying to set a fire. He did wait because he does know the damage control times for certain ships and certain ship nations. U.S. battleships, of course, have the longest damage control active time. I believe it's like 20 or 25 seconds. I actually don't know, but if you assume it's 25, it's gonna be, even if it is 20, you're safe either way. So waiting that time is very smart, but unfortunately the North Cal was moving away from him. Still pelting him though. He is still within range, but he is slowly moving out of range. Let's see if he can't get a fire. RNG is not blessing him here whatsoever, and looks like he's actually out of the range now. So, but you guys do see, I'm trying not to criticize DMAGs all that much here. He is a very good player, and I know him. I've talked to him several times, but he, so don't think that I'm bashing him, but I'm just giving advice because I want all of you guys to, obviously get better. But also, it's always good to take a second look at your replays, see where you went wrong. But from a tactical standpoint, we would have A. And again, as I was mentioning earlier, all those enemy ships are stacked right on D and E 6. And yeah, D and E 6. So that would be perfect torpedo shots right into there. You could get massive damage. Yamato doesn't move fast. Bismarck can move a little bit faster. It does have Hydro 2. North Carolina's fairly maneuverable for a battleship, but here's the other thing too. You are forcing the Alabama to go out and cap A. So again, not to harp on it too much, but a bit of a tactical mistake there. I'm sure it is definitely hard not to try and get behind the enemy and obviously just torp them to death. But we'll just have to see how it plays out here. He's going to start shooting, trying to get their attention away from their Edinburgh in smoke. Again, I like this. He's on pretty good health, 3/4 health to be exact. So he's trying to draw their attention, turn their guns away from the Edinburgh. So, and actually trying to get this North Carolina to turn back in. That is something I just now realized. Forcing this North Carolina to turn back in actually makes him shoot at DMAGs and makes him turn back into his torps. So let's see if this turns out well. It looks like he's going to get a few torpedo hits on the Yamato. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and then there is a very, very nice salvo on that North Carolina. Very well played, timing the shooting and timing the torpedo launching to perfection. Very nicely done there, DMAGs. Continually pelting the Yamato. getting a fire after there was some flooding damage, and it looks like the Yamato is going to go down, assuming he doesn't pop his repair party. D-Mags is confident, though, that he will go down. He did set a fire, and the damage is still ticking, so it's only a matter of time before he goes down, and he gets spotted again. There we go, the Yamato is killed. 2 battleships left versus one battleship on their team, 1 cruiser on their team, versus 1 destroyer D-Mags, and then 1 battleship. D-Mags smokes you, and now D-Mags tells his Bama that he is going to go into the cap. Whether the Bama listens is a completely different story. Does not look like he's going to listen, but oh, maybe he will. It looks like he might be slowing down a little bit. No? No. Okay, so that's another thing. Guys, battleship players, please, if you see smoke, stop. Like, unless there's some circumstances where I get it. There's a lot of destroyers in the area. You don't want to stop and smoke, but like in this situation, it's not a bad idea. You know, especially, and another thing, look in chat. This is for everyone. Look in chat. Read chat. Please just read chat. That helps you out so much. There's so much, even if the person's wrong and what they're saying or what they're suggesting, it is always a good idea to read chat to see what your teammates are thinking and to try and help them help you, if that makes any sense. Sorry there. Gotten a little thirsty. But, so, looks like D-Mags is going to go, or the Bama is going to go into B, and D-Mags is going to try and spot this Bismarck to try and get some more damage done. Again, I would like to see the cap. They are in the lead, but looking at what is happening at D, the Kruzov is just going for caps at this point. It's something that he has to do. There's no other option there. But if let's just say this, if the Bama did stay, he could pop his spotter plane, his spotter plane, and he could spot the Bismarck in smoke without the Bismarck even shooting. And he could also shoot him and take no damage in return. At this point, they are not going to make it. And it looks like the Bismarck turned away. I think maybe, I don't know if the torpedoes got spotted or I don't know what happened. I think the torpedoes might have gotten spotted, or just Bismarck thought that the torpedoes were coming. Plane probably did spot those, though. I'm just going to roll with that. D-Mags is going to go in and start shooting. Gets a fire, but at this point, he needs to be on that cap, on Bravo, capping it, because this Bama will never cap it. Again, something that I would suggest is destroyers are capping, and it just comes down to fundamentally how you play your ships. I view the Fletcher as and there's a Confederate. I view the Fletcher as more of a, it's definitely a cap contester, but also a AA boat. It can get very, very nasty AA, but it can also, it is actually probably the best all-around ship in the game, but that's just me personally. But again, maybe D-Mags might have been able to cap B, maybe not. We'll have to see, but it is getting very, very close. This Bama is struggling a little bit to kill his Bismarck. A Bismarck bow in isn't the easiest thing to kill. D-Mags did set a couple fires, but it looks like he will actually have to kill him, because with the amount of time left, 30 seconds, they are going to, yep, they just surpassed us on points. So they are going to have to kill him. 5.7k left. At this point, the Alabama probably should have rammed, maybe. Oh, man, I don't know. And maybe hope for a draw, but it looks like it's actually going to end right there. Bismarck's still on 5,400 health, 4,500. 6 seconds left. Doesn't matter. Game is over. Alright, guys, so looking at the screenshots here, 282,000 damage should top it off. This was the I believe it was the 9th highest damage game in the Fletcher, the NA server. So very outstanding game by D-Mags. But Confederate Devastating Strike and High Caliber, as well as 12 torpedo hits and almost a Kraken with 4 ships killed and 1 solo base cap. Again, could have been a couple more solo base caps or assisted base caps, but again, I think I've drilled home that point. Team score, though, with that 4 kills and some very nice other gameplay, 2096 base XP, very, very close to the top earners on the enemy team. You see the Bismarck there with 2,309. If you take him away, then the next guy is 2012 and 2010. That's a little weird, but and then 1995. Okay, sorry, I was just thinking the years, but very good game. He outclassed the majority of his team. His buddy in the Hindenburg, Krovas, he was second with 1,042. So very well played by D-Mags. Again, detailed report though. 45,000 from high explosive damage, high explosive shell damage. 218,000 from torpedoes. That is a lot. Not a lot from fires and flooding, but when it did matter most, he did make the most of his high explosive shells and fire damage, and when it was needed most. Like, for example, that North Carolina and Yamato. Potential damage, not a lot. He did have a lot of health at the end. Not a lot was shot at him. He was not spotted a lot of the time as well. So that's probably a good thing. You don't always want to be spotted in a destroyer, probably ever, for that point. But anyways, that was a very nicely done game, and then he walks away with 171,000 credits and 2,000 XP and Commander XP. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. If you did, then please leave a like. If you didn't, tell us why, so we know what we can work on and what we can improve on, of course. So you guys enjoy our videos more, of course. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video. Again, if you want to send in a replay, send it to BIAworldofwarships@gmail.com. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.